Hey guys, welcome to the Max Invest YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a few different things regarding Chainlink, Ethereum, and Polygon. There have recently been some relatively big technological developments that I do want to talk about. Of course, if you enjoy the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, and remember, nothing in this video is financial advice. The first thing that I briefly want to bring up is I just got an ENS name. Now, I've been waiting a while for the gas to drop on Ethereum Layer 1 as there's been so much happening. We had the NFT mania and then we had the Shiba Inu mania, and I thought that this is probably the lowest the gas will ever get to on Layer 1, so I decided just to bite the bullet and buy an ENS name. As you can see, the name on the screen is maxinvest.eth, and you can look this up to resolve a few different things. Right now, I only have a couple of different NFTs on there, with the most valuable one being the Daily Gwei 1 year anniversary NFT. Anyway, I thought I'd briefly mention that before we get into the video. Speaking of ENS names, it looks like there's going to be a very likely integration between CCIP and ENS name services. Essentially, what CCIP is CCIP is Chainlink's cross-chain interoperability protocol. What this means is it means that you can essentially take a derivative of anything and securely put it onto another chain. Chainlink will build a very secure bridge that will abstract away all of the complexity, and it should allow us to move around in a multi-chain ecosystem very well. Of course, the reason that CCIP needs to be integrated with ENS names is we eventually want to move the Ethereum name service registration off layer 1. Of course, right now, if you want to register an Ethereum name service name, you need to pay roughly $150 in gas fees to do so. This is too much for the regular user, and it would be a lot better if we could move this onto layer 2. A lot of people would say that the Ethereum name services should just redeploy the smart contract on Arbitrum or Optimism, and then you'll be able to buy Ethereum name service names. However, this isn't how it works. Right now, the ENS names are intrinsically tied to the base layer, and they can't actually be moved. Of course, this is where Chainlink CCIP is going to come in. Chainlink CCIP is essentially the only solution for this to be able to go on to multiple different rollups. So in the next couple of years, you should be able to register an ENS name for a very cheap amount on top of Arbitrum or Optimism, which is going to be very good. This will also mean that ENS will be able to be used on multiple other chains such as Solana and Avalanche, and overall this will actually start to foster a more multi-chain world using Chainlink CCIP, which is something that I like to see. Now, Chainlink God even said that he believes that CCIP will likely be the most widely adopted decentralized service on the Chainlink network. Now, I did find this quite surprising, as we do know that right now, data and price feeds is the most widely adopted service. Currently, Chainlink Oracle nodes providing data to smart contracts is by far used the most. This is simply what the majority of people actually use it for. However, Chainlink God actually thinks that CCIP is going to be used a lot more, and I do find this quite interesting. Now, one of the reasons I find it very interesting is CCIP is very much in development right now, and it is only However, cross-chain interoperability will be very important. Right now, all of these different chains have very fragmented liquidity. We can see that on rollups, there's already starting to become very fragmented liquidity, and it becomes quite difficult to use certain applications like this. Of course, CCIP will fix this. Moreover, CCIP will abstract away a lot of the complexity for users, and it will give end users a very simple interface to actually use DeFi applications from multiple different chains and multiple different rollups, which I do think will be the key to mainstream adoption from everyone. The next big bit of news that I want to start talking about is that OSL.com have started using Chainlink price feeds. Essentially, this is something that I found very interesting interesting, as what OSL.com is it's one of the big four traditional finance companies in Asia, and OSL.com lets you trade a whole bunch of assets on their platforms, which doesn't only include cryptocurrency assets. So they're going to be using Chainlink price feeds in order to inform what they're doing at what times, and this should mean that they always have access to reliable price data for all of their customers to use. I actually found this bit of news very, very big. The reason for that is because OSL.com is not a cryptocurrency company. It's a traditional finance and a fintech company. So what this shows is that Chainlink services will not only be used by cryptocurrencies. In fact, Chainlink services can be used by anyone who wants data. If you think about it, all Chainlink Oracle nodes are doing is they're providing data to a specific entity. This entity could be anyone that needs access to reliable data. Of course, Chainlink is primarily used by certain cryptocurrencies that need access to real-world data, and Chainlink itself is a cryptocurrency with its smart contract launched on top of the Ethereum network. However, if a traditional finance individual or a traditional finance entity wants access to Chainlink data, they can use it. Of course, since Chainlink is a cryptocurrency rails will need to actually be used in order to onboard that data. However, that just adds more and more value to our existing cryptocurrency networks. Now, this actually allows you to see a future where Chainlink is the data center of the world. Chainlink has all of the reliable data that everyone needs, and they will need to pay Chainlink for this data. This means that Chainlink's total addressable market is very, very large, and it makes me very excited for the future, and I would say that Chainlink CCIP might struggle to become bigger than their data provisions into the future. Anyway, the next bit of news that I want to talk about isn't regarding Chainlink anymore. It is official that Uniswap is now going to be coming to Polygon, which is very good to see, and of course Polygon is one of Ethereum's leading scaling solutions. Their most used chain is the proof of stake commit chain, which commits the state to Ethereum, and Uniswap will now be deploying on it, and it should hopefully be launching some incentives programs which should kickstart a bit more activity on Polygon. The next big bit of news is that Optimism has just removed its whitelist. And what this means is that anyone will be able to permissionlessly deploy an application onto Optimism, which is unbelievably important for any layer 2 network. Of course, right now, Optimism doesn't have many applications live on it. Optimism has Uniswap, it has Lyra Finance, and it has a couple of other applications. However, there's not much going on with Optimism. The reason for this is because you need permission from the Optimism team to actually deploy your application on Optimism. The reason they did this is because the layer 2 is on training wheels right now, and they're still developing the layer 2. However, just a couple of days ago, Optimism removed this whitelist, and this means that anyone who wants to deploy an application to it can do so. Of course, I would expect that Optimism should get some fun applications deployed on it, and its total value lock should start going through the roof, and this is what happened with Arbitrum. You might know that back on August the 31st, Arbitrum removed their whitelist, and instantly Arbitrum's total value locked shot up to $2.5 billion, which was a very, very large move for Arbitrum. The key to this was Arbitrum removed their whitelist and anyone was able to deploy to it, which is very good. So I'm very excited for Optimism, and I would expect their total value lock to go from over $380 million to over $1 billion. However, we will need to wait and see. Right now, a lot of these layer 2s aren't fully competitive with alternative layer 1s such as Solana. However, I do believe it's only a matter of time. The main thing that I think Optimism and Arbitrum need is they need their own token and their own incentives program. What this will do is it will incentivize a lot of individuals to start using these rollups, and it should mean that their TVL starts to go up quite significantly, because right now people are not exactly moving from Solana and Avalanche to Optimism and Arbitrum. However, the aim is that in the future everyone will be using these rollups. I do think this is very likely to happen, and I think there's a few key steps that Optimism and Arbitrum need to get right in order to actually do this. Anyway, this brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching the video.